Hey guys, I'm Jay Wellman with OVRLND Campers, and I'm going to go through a technical walkthrough of everything bread and butter and what you get on these. So to start, they come with barn door halves with windows in them. They come with side hatches on each side that flip up and are glass as well. You get a front center slide window. You get gas struts to help open and close. You get the super popular extra bedding height, so you can leave more bedding up there. You get the third brake light. You get clear vinyl on the upper windows. And after that, it's all our standard features. So we're gonna go through each one of those features and what you get. Every bread and butter comes with barn doors standard. This is overwhelmingly a crowd favorite. A lot of people still like the flip up hatches, but about 85% to 90% of folks get the barn doors. There's a few reasons for that. Being able to open this, stand on the tailgate with these open is a huge plus for people. And then they cleanly just latch to the side super firmly with these guys. They're in two sections. This one always opens first, which is the driver's side. And then the passenger side has a pin that references the actual camper frame and opens second. So that door has two latches on it, open, references this door, then you open that door, and now you've got the open space. Nothing is above you here, so if you wanted to stand up here, give your back a break, and then go in, it's super easy and convenient compared to having to stay low under a flip-up hatch. On the bread and butter, each bread and butter comes with windows in them, in the barn doors, solid glass. You can change this out for a side slide. It's a small slide. It does have a screen on one side. You can get that on both windows. They are extremely strong. So we don't recommend putting more than 25 pounds on them, but they will hold more. It's your camper at the end of the day. And to close them, again, you want to close the passenger side first, because that has this pin on it, which we put up into the frame. And then these latches, I don't know what I just did. There we go. Close, close. Oh, latch covers. Close, close. And then these are new latch covers for people in winter. If you lived in Phoenix and weren't gonna do winter camping, I don't think I'd get those, but each their own. But those are the barn doors. Super popular. They come standard on the bread and butter. The bread and butter also comes standard with gas struts for opening and closing the roof. They attach from the frame to the roof, and they greatly aid in opening it and closing it. We have multiple different pound ratings on these, so they can be changed out based on several factors. If you wanted to have a rocket box on the roof, or if you wanted to have insulation on the roof, a fan, all those things add weight. And so it's important to properly balance it if you want them to be effective. So we can change these in weight, but standard, they go out the door in a 25, 30, 35, or 45 pound based on your camper length and size to supplement the roof properly. You do not want them to be overweighted, just because if you were trying to bring this down in a windy environment, it will want to self-pop, and so that is not ideal. You want them to be a little underweighted, so it actually wants to come down and settle. It is not actually, they are not actually holding up the roof. That's what this panel here does. They are just supplementing you opening and closing the roof. The bread and butter also comes with side access hatches on each side that are solid glass standard. So we have realized after building 1,000 of these, people love side access and they love windows. And so this is the combination of the two in a glorified form. They are locking. They've got two latches that are quarter turns, locking, unlock them, open, reach in, grab anything you want if you've got water in there, bedding, helmets, backpacks. These can be changed out on the bread and butter. We have a version of this that is a side slide. So it's got a slide here that you open from the inside that has a screen on it. And we also can change it for our popular large center slide. And that center slide slides again from the inside, 18 inches, so it slides this way. Has a screen, but the screen also slides. So that's something to note. You can access via that little hole. So we can substitute that, but it does come standard with a solid glass flip-up hatch on both the driver and the passenger side. The bread and butter comes standard with extra bedding height. So our standard height on a lot of campers is 8 inches, and the extra bedding height has always been an add-on. From a 10 to an 11 inch it was your choice. We noticed most people, including myself, including every employee that's ever built one, extra bedding. It's great. What's the point of getting a camper if you have to move your bedding off into your truck bed to close the top? The whole point of getting a camper is to eliminate the campground shuffle. The extra bedding is working towards that. And so you can leave down bedding up there, down pillows. If it's even a little higher, you can pull, when you close it, you can pull the roof down onto that and really compress it up there. So extra bedding does come standard on the bread and butter. So this is the interior of the camper. And as you can see, there is a ton of room. This is a long bed Tacoma. And so we have 75 inches long by 61 inches wide. The bed always comes out 40 inches to here. So I've got this much room to come off. So you can see walking around, you have plenty of people. You could have plenty of people in here. If it's raining out, obviously you want to be outside if it's nice, but you could cook here while someone's still laying in bed. You can fix a bike, you could change, you can do a lot. A few characteristics to note are that the width changes per camper, the length changes per camper. So if you had a full size, it's gonna be longer, wider, taller. If you had a short bed Tacoma or short bed midsize, you are losing a foot off of this. And so something that we can do on all campers, bread and butter included, is with the bed. You have this much room to get off the bed in the middle of the night to take a pee break. If you were on a short bed, you would have this much room to get off the end of the bed. And so what we can do is actually cut the bed shorter. And so that's something you can also do at home with circular saws. So something that helps the space grow is just cutting the bed to make it shorter. It's 80 inches long stock. Most people don't need 80 inches. Most pads are 74 inches. So you can lob 6 inches off pretty easily. That's the interior space. It's huge. Our campers always come with 4 windows in the canvas. And they are a simple peel. You can do one of these, or the new way that I've seen people doing them, sticking them there. And the bread and butter comes standard with the clear vinyl layer as well. So that is an add-on, usually on the all-you-can-eat, but on these they are standard. So you want to look outside while it's raining. That allows you to do it without getting wet. So super handy to have. And if you want it black out to sleep better, you can also just put those up. This is a transparent canvas though. It does let some light through. So if you're parked next to, in a Walmart parking lot, a semi ripping a Jenny, and the lights are on you, you might not have the best night, but they do block a ton of light. So that's the vinyl windows, standard on the bread and butter. Bread and butters are built with the idea that it's all of our most popular standard features in one unit. So you can't make a lot of frame modifications on these. You can't make any. That's the kind of idea. We can build them a little quicker, so they are $1,000 cheaper than if you were to spec this out on your own. But things you can add are anything that really is a minor adjustment or an addition to the base unit. And so on the roof alone, you can add roof bars on top, rhino rack or unistrut, which strengthens the roof a lot, and you can put crossbars on the roof. You can get insulation up in the roof, and we will do that. We CNC cut insulation panels and put them in, and you can get our headliner to cover that if you wanted to. The headliner is super nice because it is a foamed material that sucks up a lot of condensation during the night. So if you're a heavy breather, you won't wake up in an insanely damp environment or in a damp environment at all. It's a really nice wicking layer. We also can add fans to the bread and butters in 3 different units. We have one that just exhausts only. We have one that blows in and exhausts, and we have one that blows in and exhausts and has this crazy hood. It's the Max Air Deluxe that will allow it to rain at the same time, and you won't get wet on the inside. This is the one that just exhausts. So I like this one because it's the cheaper one, but it will draw air out and circulate the air, really cooling the environment down on a hot day. So fans are also great. So those are the add-ons for the roof that you can get on the bread and butters. This upper loop and this bottom loop, this is hook, this is loop. I can't say the trademark term. This is loop, this is loop, this is hook. Are always, they're not exclusive to bread and butters. So these are on every camper. What these are used for is, the upper one is used to attach a thermal liner should you want one from us, or if you want to make one for way cheaper, that can be tied up here. And our headliner attaches to that. So if we put on the headliner for you, we get a lot of people that are like, whoa, can I not access anything? The headliners are attached via hook that attaches to this loop. You can peel this down, undo bolts on the front and rear, and you can peel that back and you could redo wiring, or you could insulate it yourself down the road. So that's what these are for. This one is used for this, or if you want to make little baggies off of this, you could do that. But mainly this one is a softening for the canvas, so there's no raw aluminum on that. When you're closing the camper, you always close the front first, and then you close the rear. The rear is a simple quarter turn latch on the rear. You pull this over center, and then you pull the roof down to complete that. On the way up, you let the gas struts work, and you push this over center and then lock this out, and that becomes a over center shear plate, which holds up the roof. Any wiring that we have in the camper traverses the roof or from the brake light, always comes to the driver's side corner with the wires taped. These ones aren't taped, but they usually are from us, mentioning what they are. And they are bare wires, seeing how as every kind of person every person comes with a different power box. We don't know what the connectors are for those, but power boxes have their own connectors. So super easy to wire those connectors so they match your power box, but they will traverse the lift panel. So if you wanted to add your own lights or anything like that, you just undo our little zip ties, add yours, re-zip tie it, and that's the way it traverses down. I didn't mention this earlier, but you can get the solar port as an add-on on the driver's side front of the roof. That would also traverse down here, and you'd have a positive and negative solar panel wire that would be here waiting for you to make final connection. Extra bedding height on the interior is measured from this reference to this reference. This unistrut is what the bed slides on. And so standard, this is 8 inches, which should just be there. So you would lose 2 inches of bed stowage. Whereas most of our campers went out with the extra bedding. So what we did is we added the 2 extra inches. And so that means that you have 2 extra inches of standing height. So I'm just under 6 foot. And I have, I don't know, that's 6'6", this is 6'6" probably in here on top of the bed rug. And so you have more standing height. So that's important for people that want to have, say, a decked platform or a platform that they're under there, and they still, could store their skis down there and still stand up on top of that. So that's super handy. You also get 2 extra inches of sitting on the bed. So I've got unfortunately a salamander body, long torso, but it's still very comfy. I'm a sloucher, super comfy. It's really nice, to be able to do this. If someone was just laying up here reading or catnapping while someone's down there working on their bike, tuning their skis, cooking, you think of it, someone's done it on a rainy day. With the bed pulled out, I have this sitting room now, but with the bed pulled out, I gain that extra 1.25 inches because the bed slides drop. And so you would sink down and get more. So if the bed is out, you do have more room to move around in bed. So a lot of people love the extra bedding height for those, but the main one is that you can leave more bedding up here. So there's a lot of our competitors that are super slammed and you can't leave anything. You just are like, oh, let me take all my shit down and put it down here so then I can close the top. What's the point of having a camper if you're not even reducing the campground shuffle? You want to leave your down sleeping bag up here. You want to leave your pillow up here. You want to leave your child up here. So you don't want to be moving stuff around. And so that is why 10 inches is the standard on the bread and butter, because you can just pile everything up here, close the roof, you're gone. Rather than, oh, I've got this bucket down here, I need to pull all this down, have this space down here dedicated to bedding. That makes no sense. Why buy a camper? Just get a tent. Get a tent. The bed does one of these guys, slide back, and then you adjust your mattress or whatever you're sleeping on. So you'd two-piece, move that back, and then you'd hop on. You can see, as I mentioned, that if I sit on this now, I can sit up straight. And so that's really handy when someone's sleeping. Hey, my partner's right there. I just want to delicately not wake them up and take a midnight pee. Let's not wake them up. And then get down. So super handy to have that standing height. The canvas on all of our campers, from this frame reference to this frame reference, is always 28 inches. So if that helps you guys, you can now pull a tape, and then you have the cab over height, 28 inches, even on the bivvy. So super handy to have the extra bedding height. Closing our campers, super easy. When you get up in the morning, you push the bed away. You want to put up all your windows on the canvas. They don't have to be crazy perfect, just put them up. Once those are up, you've got 2 bungees. And you just connect the dots, that D-ring to that D-ring, this D-ring to this D-ring. These bungees only serve the purpose of pulling in the canvas when you're ready to take this down. So now we're ready. We are always going to close the front first, and then close the rear. When we open it, we open the rear first, then we open the front. So let's close the front. We've got this bar that is just a secondary safety measure. So if you undo that bar and load the roof, it's still not going to collapse. It just helps pop it. And so when you're ready to go, you just drop that, pull this over center, and then let go of that and pull on this push bar and control the roof so the clamshell sits right on the front. If you get one of these, we will teach you that. It's super easy and becomes muscle memory. And then on the rear, you undo the quarter turn latch, pull that panel over center, and then pull that down as well. On full-size trucks, you don't need to do this, but on mid-size, you do. Once it's down, you pop it up, reach in and pull your canvas corners in, and then re-lock this quarter turn to this push bar, and that just prevents this from bouncing around when you're going down a dirt road. This guy just sits there, but that's closing it. Now we go outside and do our 6 latches. I know that's a lot of information, but that's the bread and butter. A lot of standard features that a lot of people love, so they're all included in one package for cheaper. If we missed anything that you're interested in on the technical walkthrough of any kind of features we've got going on, make sure to comment and or any other questions. But that's the bread and butter.